Are sea snails born with their shells? What happens if a hermit crab grows too big for its shell? How big do crabs grow? G'day wildlife friends, it's Nathan from the Wildlife Movement here with your questions of the week. Every week we pick 3 questions to answer from our viewers or from our students. Also, make sure that you stick around to the end of the video to test out your own animal knowledge as well. Our first question comes in from a Year 1 student at Georges Hall Public School who asked, are sea snails born with their shells? This was such an interesting question and it was really cool researching the answer. All species of sea snail are born with their shells. However, their shells are soft and transparent when they are first born. In order for their shells to harden and grow, sea snails must absorb calcium and other minerals from the water that they live in and from the foods that they eat. Once they have enough of the necessary building blocks, they begin to produce calcium carbonate and use that to fill in all of the soft parts of their shell to make them really hard. If you look really closely at a snail shell, you may notice that there are lines on the shell where new layers have been added to the shell as the snail grows. Our second question was asked at an incursion at Kindy Patch, Camden by someone who wanted to know, what happens if a hermit crab grows too big for its shell? Hermit crabs live inside of empty sea snail shells to stay safe from all of their predators that may try to eat them. As they grow larger, their shell becomes too tight, so they look around their environment for a new empty snail shell that is bigger than the one that they currently have. When they are safe from their predators, they quickly jump out of their old shell and into the new shell to test the fit. If the shell is the right fit, that will be the hermit crab's new home. But if the shell is too large, they may quickly jump back into their old shell and wait around for another hermit crab to come along that might have a shell that's a better fit for them. Sometimes you find groups of hermit crabs waiting around an empty shell so that they can all begin to trade shells when the right sized hermit crab comes along. Did you know that hermit crabs actually have 2 shells? Their second shell is a hard shell on the outside of their body called an exoskeleton. As they grow, they also need to change their exoskeletons, but I will save how they do that for a future video. If you would like to know, or if you have any questions about animals, the oceans, or anything wildlife related, please let us know in the comments below or send us an email at questions@thewildlifemovement.com.au and we may answer your questions in a future video. Our third question came in from another Year 1 student at Georges Hall Public School who asked, how big do crabs grow? That is a really great question and the answer may surprise you. There are over 4,500 different species of crab found around the world, and the largest of which is called the Japanese spider crab. While their body only measures about 40 centimeters in width, their legs can grow much larger than that. When measured from one end to the other, their legs can stretch 3.7 meters, making them one of the largest species of crustacean that has ever lived on our planet. Now it is time for our audience question of the week, where we ask you a question to test your knowledge about animals and our natural world. Last week, we asked what is the largest species of animal that lives in our ocean? And the correct answer is the blue whale. They can grow to be up to 30 meters long and can weigh up to 200 tons. They are thought to be the largest animals that have ever lived anywhere on planet Earth. Well done to Ali LMAO, who guessed that in the comments on last week's video, and congratulations if you knew the answer to that one as well. For this week's audience question, we want to know if you know what the animal is in this video. If you know what it could be, please make sure that you leave your answer in the comments below. Also, please make sure to drop your own questions in the comments below and we may answer them in a future video. If you found this video interesting or if you learnt something new, please make sure that you give us one of these and check out this playlist right here, which has all of our question of the week videos. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video and until next time, keep living the wild life.